Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in again. It's a privilege to study with you today. And whether you've seen my other videos or this is your first time, you are all very welcome. If this is your first time, I have other study videos. Go to my created playlists and there's 2 study video sections, Basics of Buddhism videos and Gosho videos. Okay, so this one then is the 9 consciousnesses. For me, it's a tough one. It's hard for me to fathom. I'm not sure why. I get it though. I understand the concept very well. It makes total sense to me. It's just hard for me to get my head round. So I feel we're very much studying together. So let's crack on, shall we? This principle explains how our Buddhist practice can draw out our inherent potential and positively affect the way we engage with life. It starts by looking at the way our bodies respond to the world around us, and then considers mental and spiritual processes which explain our behaviour. So let's have a look at what they all are. The first 5 consciousnesses are our senses. They are sight, hearing, smell, taste and touch. The 6th is integration of sensory data, identifying what our 5 senses are communicating to us and making judgments. The 7th is the realm of unconscious, the basis for individual identity or self. 8th is alaya consciousness, where the energy from our karma is stored. And finally, the 9th consciousness, our Buddha nature. These 9 consciousnesses can be thought of as different levels of consciousness constantly working together, operating together to create our lives. I've mentioned many times that I'm in fact autistic, so I might process things maybe a little different to others. The way some things, some materials feel to me can leave me with a great deal of distress. And there are some foods that I find impossible to eat because of the texture. Less about the taste, more about the texture. And I'm sensitive to loud noises, especially sudden ones. It can really cause a negative effect in my daily life. But is it the senses that determine how stuff affects us? I'm not sure it is. For me, there has to be some processing unit in us, right? I think that's where the 6th consciousness comes in. It identifies what the senses are communicating to us. The 6th consciousness is the part of our minds which draws all the information from the individual senses and enables us to create a composite picture of where we are. It enables us to make judgments about the various things that we perceive, so that we are attracted to some things and reject others. Can we, though, trust our perception of the world around us? To what extent is our view of the world coloured by previous experience or our imagination? I tend to think of it as an audio equalizer, like a mixer. You know, when you can adjust different faders like the bass and the treble, mid-range, and that kind of thing. Think of the 5 senses having their own slider, and the unit, the processing unit, is our brain. The original sound comes in, and depending on the different levels of the faders, that determines the output. And of course, the levels of each sense change from moment to moment. So at any given moment, our output can be different depending on the levels of each sense. Am I making sense? I hope so. But if not, let me know. And I'd like to hear your perspective on this. I really enjoy hearing from you and hearing your viewpoint. So keep them coming. Let me know your thoughts and your experiences about this topic. In the previous quote, we read, "To what extent is our view of the world coloured by previous experience or our imagination?" Our view of the world, of course, is initially determined by what our senses are taking in and telling us. But if our previous experience was a negative one, when it comes up again, it can really leave us with a great deal of anxiety. But Buddhism teaches we can change anything. And when we chant, we tap into all of the consciousnesses, don't we? Therefore, we can change our experiences in a sixth consciousness, or memory bank, if you like, from a negative to a positive. So when that comes up again, we're automatically going to feel more positive about it. Take a moment to look up. What can you see around you right now? How many different colours? Which are bright and which are dull? What can you hear? How is the temperature where you are reading this and listening and watching? Too hot or too cold, or just right? What, if anything, can you smell or taste? Each of those senses is working all the time, bringing in information which may be useful for our lives. I was once encouraged to start a happiness diary, as we called it at the time. Each time I made a nice cup of tea or coffee, or each time I saw and smelt a really nice flower, or each time I made a friend laugh, I would write it down in the diary. For example, when I'm out walking the dogs or driving in countryside, I always see the nature's beautiful colours and how many types of green there are, how many shades of green there are in the trees and the bushes and the fields. It's not something I really noticed before I started chanting, but now it gives me so much joy to see nature flourish. They all add up to us using our senses to feel more positive about ourselves and the world around us. Of course, the senses and the sense organs can be vulnerable, and it's not uncommon for someone to be missing something or not have the full set. The main point here is that we use whatever senses we have at our disposal to positive effect. As SGI President Daisaku Ikeda explains, "The whole of Buddhist philosophy centers on the idea of breaking out of the prison of the lesser self to reveal the infinitely expanded true self. The 9 consciousnesses concept was developed to achieve this goal." Okay, I feel my head is about to explode. All of that, and I've only covered the first 5 senses. So shall we do the rest of them next time in part 2? Yes is the answer. Thank you so much for watching. It's about this time where I always ask you to subscribe. It makes a big difference to me, helps support this channel. So thank you so much for doing so if you have done. If not, please do consider subscribing. Thank you so much once again for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Until next time, happy chanting.